I'm gonna be making lunch while I'm talking to you guys here. Wipe off this camera lens just a little bit. Maybe it's a little better. Anyway, I just got done meeting with the new employer, possible new employer, and put some stipulations in play. I sat down and I talked to the new general manager of all the dealerships. They have a Chrysler dealership, a Ford dealership, they have a Honda dealership, and a Toyota dealership. And general manager of the facilities was really interested in getting to talk to me. And we had a great conversation. He laid out the expectations. The money doesn't quite work as it like I thought it did. Um, Basically, how it works is at 40 hours. Say you do 40 hours worth of work, you you make like $37 an hour. At 45 hours, you get bumped up to $38 an hour. At 50 hours worth of work, you get bumped up to like, say, $42 an hour. And then once you start approaching that 55 to 60 hour mark, then you really start making like, 50, closer to $50 an hour. And the more work you do, the more money you make in it, and it resets at zero. The dog's making a bunch of noise in the background because she's happy. She's rolling around on the ground. And so I apologize. Um, Anyhow, they they threw some stuff in there at me. They said after about 6 months you're eligible for 401k, medical, dental. I didn't think I would actually get any of that stuff, but they said that you are eligible for that stuff as well. Um, what else was it? Oh, I told them, I said, what about moving stuff? I just moved up here and I'm having a heck of a time getting in an apartment. He said, so this is what we'll do for you. We will put the deposit down on an apartment or wherever you choose to stay, and we will pay the first. You didn't miss that much yet. Um, we will pay the first 3 months' rent plus the deposit wherever you decide to go. So I had mentioned possibly another extended stay if getting me in an apartment is too much on them. They had specified that it's not too much, that they could probably work it out, and that they have a few contacts that they would be interested in contacting in the local area to actually put me in an apartment. So he said he's going to work on that on his end and get back to me. On the way back, I decided to stop and just go ahead and pull over on the side of the road, fill out all the background information, and then at the end of the background information, it said go ahead and schedule your drug screening. Well, I noticed on the way back to the motel that the drug screening was on the way, so I just went ahead and scheduled it for immediately. And I went in and sat down for about an hour, got the drug test done, and now the ball's completely in their court. So now we wait. We wait to see how the apartment thing comes through. We wait to see how um, the new job fits. They're big on education, and I want to go back and get my last two master certifications for senior master, and then all I'll have to do is just wait on time to be completely qualified for senior master, and that's where I'm at next. Is the pay scale seems good. It's more than what I'm making now substantially, and I feel good about it. So we'll see what happens. He said, "What if you give your?" Um, he said, "What do you need to start immediately?" And I said, "Well, I want to give at least a 2 week notice. That would be the right thing to do." And the guy understood. He said, "I understand. What happens if they fire you immediately?" When I said, "Well, then I would be interested in working immediately, obviously." So everything's in the works right now, and it's looking good. We'll see what happens, and just go from there. So pray for me, and let's make this lunch. And I'll be looking at questions in case you guys have any advice or things to say in the process. Tomorrow I will be starting a new series, or part of a series, where I show you how I'm going to prepare to increase my core strength for the plank challenge. I want to reach 4 minutes. My goal is 4 minutes, but I would like to actually do more than that. Hello, hello, hello. Simple, easy, to the point, keto food. Well, I call it keto food, but it's really not. It's more like carnivore food. If you follow certain professionals online, they'll tell you that you eat too much keto, or you eat too much eggs, or you eat too much beef, or something like that. You're not doing keto correctly. Which I noticed in the last 6 months, they just really started doing that. Before, they didn't do any of that. But now, all of a sudden, you have to follow somebody's program. And that's another topic I want to talk to you guys about while I'm here as well. What I've also noticed is that last night when I was watching TV before bed, I try to shut the TV off about a half hour to an hour before I go to bed, if not more. I noticed that Weight Watchers, not Weight Watchers, the South Beach diet now claims that they are keto, and you should buy their shakes and everything else. Uh, that's right, it's the one for your body. So now South Beach has their own version of keto with their shakes and everything else that they promote. And if you sign up for their program, you can get 50% off their shakes. This stuff is getting ridiculous, guys. The more keto blows up, the more these supplement companies and these diet brands and stuff like that are just jumping all over the train with this stuff. What I also noticed is more and more ketone companies are starting to really push their products on Facebook now. There's a company called Real Ketones, and I don't really like diming people out, but if it's the truth, it's the truth. I don't understand why people would be, like when I talk about our professionals, if I find something out or if I want to talk about something, I find people are really offended when you talk about people they like, because they don't want to feel like they've been misguided or that they've been lied to. The company Real Ketones, they are promoting stuff on Facebook that says just take 2 servings a day, 2 servings of ketones a day, and you'll be in ketosis all day. That's their new advertisement, and it's ridiculous. Just because you're drinking exogenous ketones, exogenous means made outside, endogenous means made inside. Just because you're drinking ketones does not mean you're in ketosis. That means that you have an alternate fuel source that your body's going to choose based on demand, and it's going to use that as fuel. But that does not mean you are in ketosis. That just means you're showing ketones based on what you're drinking powder-wise. When you make something endogenously, internally, your liver is actually taking fat and breaking it down, then you can say, I'm in ketosis. My body is naturally in a state of ketosis. Drinking things supplement-wise does not mean you're in ketosis just because you're drinking ketones. And when they put blanket ads up on Facebook, and it says stuff like, just drink these ketones twice a day and you'll be in ketosis all day. It makes no sense to me, because if you're not following a ketogenic diet, but yet you're eating all the sugar and everything else that goes along with it, you can be giving your body a source of ketones that is going to use as fuel. But what happens to everything else that you're eating if you don't specify eating a ketogenic diet along with this program? It gets packed away as fat. It starts causing other issues because you have too many alternate fuels in your blood at one time to be used for something. They don't specify that stuff. It's a big money gimmick. I even commented on the company's page and said, look, I had mentioned something on one of your posts, and I noticed that you guys blocked me from commenting on your business ad, but I've chosen to hide your posting from popping up on my Facebook page, yet your posting keeps popping up. So can you explain why your posting keeps popping up, but yet you want to block me? It doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm telling the truth and I'm not talking bad about your company, other than how it actually works, explain to me why I'm being blocked, but yet your post keeps popping up and I've already blocked your ads from being on my Facebook. They don't respond back. I called the company up and left a voicemail, told them about their marketing strategy, and the way they're marketing the product is completely wrong. It's not truthful in the least form. So I have an issue with this right now. People want to put so much emphasis on follow this, do that, eat this much, do that much, go do this much exercise, drink that much water, and it's ridiculous. And I noticed the very people that we're friends with that agree with what we say when we don't need these products, we don't need these pills, we don't need all this stuff. They're the very people that are liking these ads. You can look up at the top of the posting. Whenever you look at a posting with somebody sponsoring an ad, you could look right at the top and it shows which one of your friends are liking that or supporting that ad. And it's the very people that speak against it that are clicking likes and hearts and everything else. But yet they'll create posts talking about you don't need these products. But then they go back and they're clicking on the products supporting them. I don't get it. But if we had more people to speak out against that type of stuff, we wouldn't have nowhere near the issue that we have with people wasting their money on ketone supplements. Oh, there's a new one that popped up I wanted to speak about as well. It's a doctor, and it's a post about a doctor, and it says this doctor will answer all your keto questions. Ask your questions in the comment section below. And then you ask your questions and they start promoting pills and stuff like that. You know, I've often told you guys that you need to start questioning the people that you find your information in. You need to really start questioning the people that call themselves doctor and they've been keto and they do this and they do that, because a lot of them are lying to you. They're not. They're fairly new to it, and they claim this ultimate knowledge and knowing and being a keto guru, when there are plenty of you that have been following a ketogenic diet and know more about it than they do. They just know how to use some medical terms in the process. I mean, I think it's time for real people to start stepping up and saying, how do I know you're a doctor? How do I know that you have to offer what I need? And how do I know what you're saying is actually true? There's a lot to it. It's much more than just saying, oh, I'm Dr. So-and-so, follow me and listen to me. I could create a fake profile right now and put it on social media and make myself out to be a doctor and use the same terminology and words and just practice and come across as this ultimate knowing person as well, and then make everybody believe me. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm eating one meal a day right now, so that's why you see me going so heavy with this. I'm not, beyond this, I won't be eating anything else for the next 24 hours. Or I should say like 23 hours. But anyhow, I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys and get a little bit of what's going on out there right now. It's ridiculous. It's so many people promoting so many products all over the place, and then you follow, YouTuber so and so that's lost 60 pounds or 70 pounds, and they're using all these products, and then it makes you think, well, I need those products too, because obviously that person has lost all the weight doing it, so I'm going to do it as well. And it's just a complete facade. I mean, it's not even legit. Money, money, money. I've noticed some of our friends now are buying into it. I was just talking to a lady a little while ago. I said, "What is this happy coffee that you keep promoting, and these pills and stuff that you keep promoting?" Thanks, Brennan. What is this? Why do you keep promoting this stuff? And she said, "I don't know. I just thought it would be good to promote. I mean, it makes people feel good." I said, "Do you know what makes people feel good? Caffeine. Caffeine makes people feel good. That's what's in the product that's making people feel good." And she said, "Well, I also promote not only the happy coffee, but I also promote it with anti-inflammatory supplements like turmeric." And I said, "Can you show me what's in the product? Because if you don't take turmeric with a fat source, such as butter, MCT oil, coconut oil, something like that, avocado oil, it doesn't get pulled into your lymphatic system, and it gets processed right out of the body. And your body actually sees it as a foreign object. And when your body sees it as a foreign object, and you're not sprinkling pepper on your food that you use turmeric with, pepper has a byproduct called pepperin, and it buffers the liver from seeing turmeric as a foreign agent that has to get pushed out of the body. So if you make like 10 ounces of bone broth, a tablespoon of Kerrygold butter or real butter, and take some salt and pepper and dash it in there, you're talking about a super, super, super healing anti-inflammatory drink, because you have multiple things going on at this point. You have anti-inflammatory from the turmeric. You have the pepperin that's buffering your liver from processing it out. And you have the butter that's actually helping pull the turmeric into the lymphatic system. If you don't put fat and pepper with your turmeric, and it's coming from a powder or a natural root source, most pills are a complete scheme, you're not actually doing anything for yourself. Come on, stay there. I tried this a while ago. I was trying to figure out the research on it. And I was looking up how turmeric gets pulled into the body. And I was listening to some of Thomas DeLauer's old videos, which he has a lot of good information, don't get me wrong. So does Dr. Berg. Thank you. So does Dr. Berry. All of these doctors have great info. But what ends up happening is they start getting driven by subscriptions, money, speak at this event, that event, be part of Ask-A-Dap, be part of this, be part of that. And their agenda starts to change. And when I started looking into Thomas DeLauer's videos, and then I started looking into the actual PubMed studies on turmeric, it showed that turmeric can be very anti-inflammatory, but it needs a couple things for it to work properly. You can't just take turmeric straight raw and then expect it to work in the body. It doesn't happen that way. your body almost wants to fight it. So a lot of people take like a real raw organic black pepper and they'll make like some kind of food or something to where it's a real fatty food, like a fatty steak or something like that, and they'll sprinkle powdered turmeric, not pill form, but actual real powdered turmeric from like an Indian source or something like that, and they'll use butter and they'll use pepper, and they feel that effect. It's almost like it calms them down. It really relaxes them overall, and it pulls the inflammation out of their body. But I couldn't just find this from one source. I had to find multiple sources. So why do you think Thomas DeLauer, he's got a new product that's got like omega-3s, turmeric, and something else. It's all together. But what it doesn't have is it lacks pepperin. If pepperin's not put in there, and when I'm saying pepperin, I think it's spelled Pepperin or something like that, and it buffers your liver from fighting the turmeric. That's not in the product. So if science has proven this, and we know that this is what we need in the product to help actually pull it into the system, your lymphatic system, and create this anti-inflammatory effect, that's not a complete product. We're putting stuff out on the market and we're standing behind it because we've got this big face that promotes this, and we think that it's true. Oh no, Thomas wouldn't lie to me. Thomas is an outstanding guy, don't get me wrong, and he's done a lot for himself, health-wise and popularity-wise. But when we look at everything that's going on as a whole, why is it always about supplements? Why is it always about, add this? You're not doing that right. If you're eating too much bacon and beef, that's not a ketogenic diet. You're not doing it correctly. That's not why you're losing weight. Or that's why you're not losing weight. I've had enough of it, guys, and I'll be honest with you. I'm jaded by all this. I'm jaded by all these gurus popping up and these doctors popping up and all the supplements popping up, and then people like us that are desperate for health change believing these people. And it seems like I'm the only one that's actually coming to the forefront of it and saying, quit, just stop, do your research, eat whole food keto, listen to your body, and heal. I followed more of the Dr. Eric Westman approach to doing it. Just eat keto food. Bottom line. Yes, there can be a better balance to everything once you're down to 20, 30 pounds that you want to lose. But if you're an obese person and you're struggling with something called leptin resistance, which you're not even going to know that you're dealing with. Leptin resistance is a person that has adipose fat so much all over their body for so long, their body's signaling is not picking up on leptin signal anymore, or their perception. So as your adipose tissue releases leptin, it starts to say, hey, wait a second, I've got enough fat stored away. I don't need to eat anymore. I need to just stop for right now. I'm okay. I'm content. Well, ghrelin is your hunger hormone. So if your leptin and your ghrelin hormones are all out of whack, you're going to feel like you're hungry all the time. We have something called leptin resistance. It's one of the things that nobody ever talks about. It's the hormone that's released by the adipose tissue that's on your body. And we don't know that. We interpret it as I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Well, not really. If you have, say you have really high leptin signaling and you have low ghrelin, that means you're content. But if your ghrelin hormone comes up and your leptin is real low, that means your body really wants to eat. Well, if you're a person that's been obese for so long, your leptin signaling can be out of control all the time because you have so much adipose fat all over the place, but so can your ghrelin hormone. It can be way up, and your body's misinterpreting what's going on because you've got this excessive amount of body fat all over the place, and you're constantly pumping leptin in your system. But we always want to pinpoint it on insulin and blood sugar and stuff like that. Those are important, don't get me wrong. Those are the precursor to all the other things that are going on. But if you've got a lot of body fat, I'm sorry to say this, but there's some aspects of keto that we have it wrong. You can eat all the fat in the world and be completely fine insulin and blood sugar wise, but if you don't start eating that fat on your body, that leptin signaling is always going to be out of control. That's why I love to practice more forms of fasting. And I know everybody doesn't want to hear that. You might follow a YouTuber or something like that. I've gotten these discussions before with that what's that lady from the UK? Her name is Ginger. Keto in the UK with Ginger or something like that. I don't know. And
they were talking about women not fasting past 16 hours, and I said, why? What's the reason for that? What says that a woman cannot fast past 16 hours? There's nothing that says that. There's nothing that supports that. If a woman wants to fast for 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, she can very successfully do that. But there are some people out there that tell ladies not to do that because they don't think it's healthy for them. Well, the problem with thinking is that you don't know. You just think. And if you've been a part of any kind of keto group or movement in general, you know that ladies sometimes can actually be stronger at fasting than men. I knew a lady that never fasted in her life. Last year, she fasted for 40 days straight and she never practiced fasting a day in her life. She had her mind set on it and she said, this is what I'm going to do. And she went ahead and did it. There was nothing wrong with her. She fasted completely fine. My admin on my group, when we do our little fasting, experiments and stuff on my keto group, we all fast together. They don't have to do that with me, but they fast completely fine. They feel better afterwards. So this is where we need to be very, very, very careful with who we follow. We need to figure out what we need to do as an individual that makes us happy. Just like Seattle said, you need to figure out your body, what you like, and dig in further. My group is Carnivore Keto Nation Official. The reason I had to put the official at the end of it is because after I created my group, somebody else created a group without checking to see if the other names were out there, and they duplicated my name. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is good. I made like a sorry. I made like an egg bacon pizza. And that red sauce is taco sauce. It's the only thing that I eat that's not completely clean. I mean, it does have 2 grams of carbs per serving, so I just had 2 tablespoons, so I've had 4 grams of carbs, and I'm not going to give it up right now. It fits for me, and I use every once in a while I'll use something, and I'll get on my little kick, for 30 days or something like that, and I'll use it, and then I'm off of it. I just had to say goodbye to one of my admin today. We just don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And it sucks because I really liked her. And, I'm sad about it because she was a good lady. But I noticed over the last month that things have not been the same at all with her. She's been slowly, what would you say? How would I say it without being disrespectful? She's been slowly like going against me and fighting me more and more on things when that's not ever how she was before. Me and her really aligned on a lot of topics, but it hasn't happened. And I really try to make my group now open to anybody, whatever they want to talk about, whatever they want to say, they want to do. But at the same time, if I have something to say, I want to be respected in that regard as well. I don't want to be disrespected. So I had to part ways with one of my admin today because that's what I felt like was happening nonstop. And I want to create an organization eventually. I've reached out to a few other YouTubers and they said they liked the idea. And I've reached out to a few other people that have keto groups and they like the idea, but it's called a Keto Helpers Organization, KHO. There are a lot of people that don't have the means to buy good healthy food, better quality food. And I said, what if we put like a money pool together to where, like Seattle Sapphire or somebody locally in her town or something like that needs help, a single mother, a family or whatever that's going without, and they want to be on a ketogenic diet, they just don't have a lot of money to go do it. Maybe we could do a one-time deal where we go with that family to the store, show them what we would buy, maybe educate them a little bit in the process, spend a couple $100s on food for them, help them get rolling, and then, kind of help get them on their feet a little bit. And then if they need more assistance later, have like a little group thing where we come together and say, do we have the funding for this right now? Can we do this right now? Can we all send a little bit of money to each other to kind of get this rolling to help this family out a little bit more? And you know what? It could be like, if we had a group of 100 people, we could send $10, $20, whatever it is, and we could get that person moving again. and we could just pick and choose, the amount of people we can help at that time and set a cap at it. Hey, I can help this person right now. I got an extra $100 out of my check. 200 bucks out of my check or something like that this month. I've been able to save that, for this specific cause. Let's go take this family and go buy them some groceries. And a lot of people responded very positive. But there are some people that are skeptic on everything, and they think, oh, what are you going to do with the money? I'm not doing anything with the money. My money, I don't touch the money. It's money that we put into it to go spend for somebody, and they have access to whatever, like you do like everybody has their own PayPal. Like Seattle Sapphire, she'll have her own PayPal. I have my own PayPal. Somebody else will have their own PayPal, and we say, okay, there's 20 people in the group today. Can we each send $10? Get about $200 together, go buy these people some groceries, and Seattle's the closest. So why don't we just send her all the money, just deposit it straight into her PayPal account, and then let her, whenever she has time, schedule an appointment with those people to go show them at the grocery store, maybe on a Saturday or something like that. They have something in need. I know a lot of people want to do keto, but they think that it's expensive. Well, we could go show them that it's not expensive, like as a little educational thing in the process, and show them what types of food we would eat, and be very helpful to the community in general that just wants to learn a different way to eat. I think that would be great. But, there was a couple people right away that kind of looked at me and were like, what are you going to do with the money? Who's going to control the money? Nobody's going to control the money. It's going to be a group of people coming together to help one family, another family maybe a week later or 2 weeks later, something like that, just to give back. A lot of people like the idea. A lot of people even volunteered their own time. Joni from Keto Diamond, she said she would do it. Who else? Melissa Lewis, she has her own group. She said she would do it. I would definitely do it. I would try to go just take from my own money instead of taking everybody else's and go take the family to go get groceries. So I think it would be a good thing to start. Man, it's so good. It's like the most perfect crunchy pizza. Egg, cheese, and bacon. It's amazing. Just let you see what it looks like. Bacon in the center. See? Mama Bear knows. Man, that's good. Wow. That's a great skillet pizza right there. If you guys don't know, I started doing the skillet pizzas about 3.5 years ago, before anybody was posting any of this stuff online. I was already showing people how to do double layer, triple layer skillet pizzas. And I made one that really kicked people off on this whole thing. On my keto group, it was a double layer stuffed avocado skillet pizza. And it was phenomenal. But, some people might call this dirty keto because there's a lot of cheese involved and there's bacon involved and eggs involved. But I don't care what they say. It tastes good to me. What do you guys think about the whole Keto Helpers thing? Let me know your comments on that. I like how you could see the egg, the bacon, the cheese. I don't like my bacon super crispy, so this is how I like it. But of course, you'll want to fry your bacon longer. Yes, you missed quite a bit. Mm-mm-mm. This is delicious. My gosh, this is delicious. Are you pouting over there? She's over there pouting. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Man, it's so good. Mm. Mm. So, what's the consensus? Do you guys think the Keto Helper, organization would be something beneficial? Or do you think that one lady responded to the post and said, I don't know that, I don't know why people need help buying groceries. The information's free. They could go online and figure that out for themselves. That's not necessarily the case. Everybody's not able to just go out and buy, $200 worth of groceries for their family for a couple weeks. And if you've got multiple kids, that $200 doesn't last very long. Sometimes, that's $350, $400 a month. But if you could take somebody with you that's bought a lot of keto foods that can show you how they would do it, especially a mom that has the experience doing it, that's willing to give up, a couple hours of her time every once in a great while. Do you know how much knowledge there is there? Do you know how much that lady could help you? I think there's a definite need for it. But it's just a matter of where's the support at? Who would be willing to jump on board and do it? I'm in Chicago. There are other people in Chicago. We have Seattle and Alabama and Louisiana and stuff like that. I know people on here are from all over the place, but who would be willing to jump in on that and partake in that? And it's not a money, like a bunch of money is just sitting around waiting to be pulled from. No, everybody has a PayPal account, and whoever needs help that we decide on would get that money sent to them, and then they go take those people to go buy groceries and educate them, teach them a little bit. What do you think about it? I want to hear what you have to say. Anyhow, we're at the end of this video. I've been talking for 38 minutes. That's too long. Let's see what time it is. It's 2:18. I gotta leave here in 12 minutes. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this is something that could help other people. Yes, you're late, but we're gonna end the video now so I don't drag it out too long. What I spoke about was the new job opportunity. I spoke out about all the keto supplements and ketones, this and that, and having to prescribe and do this, and you're doing keto wrong if you eat too much bacon or beef or something like that. And I just kind of showed people the meal I made, my one meal a day, and I talked about what else did I talk about? I talked about a bunch of things that were really, really important. So anyhow, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, guys. So tomorrow I'm going to start documenting how I'm going to get better at the plank challenge. I want to meet a 4-minute plank plus, and I want to train myself to do that. So tomorrow I will start 100 push-ups a day. That's fine, but if we could take the funds of a pool together, you don't have to have money to help. All you have to have is a little bit of knowledge to show somebody else how you would do it. And we could take those funds and put it together and send it to your PayPal, and then you could go meet up with that person and show them and help provide them that funding for the groceries. All you would have to do is just show up and be there, and it would be the people that could help or pitch in that would that would fund that. Your time is more valuable than money is, so if you could show up and just show them, that's an option as well. I just think it would be a great idea, helping less fortunate people that want to change their health but don't have the money or the knowledge to basically learn what foods to buy, what foods aren't that great, what foods are better, you know, for whatever reason, don't have as many additives and stuff in it. So anyhow, let's end the video. It's 40 minutes now. We'll cut it off here. Thank you guys. I'm going to actually head to work, get this girl out before I go, and I will catch you guys later.